welcome to the trunk show. This is the Whimsical Workshop portion of the Quilters visual trunk show that's virtual for you. Our time is from 1 to 1:15, and thanks for stopping by. I've got Matthew here is moderating questions for us. If you have any questions about anything you see, just type it in and we'll get an answer to you. But I want to start with some of my favorite little buddies. These guys are our Terrible Trio. They're made out of Minky. We do have patterns for everything I'm showing you. It's all available at thewhimsicalworkshop.com. And currently we're having a sale at 25% off everything, including notions, digital downloads, patterns. You can use code SPRING2020, all capital letters, when you check out to get the discount. So this is the first of our Terrible Trio. This is Miss Dottie. Her buddy is Puck. There's Mr. Puck. He looks like a hockey player, so that's why he's called Puck. And then finally we got Trip, who's triple I's, so there's Trip. So these guys are our Terrible Trio. They send you a virtual hug as we start our trunk show here. And we can move on. Next one is our succulent pillows. A couple of years ago, Michael Miller asked us to design some pillows and projects for their booth that was all going to be about cactus. And these are our succulent pillows. It's called the Little Succulent Garden pattern. And it comes in 3 sizes. This is the largest at 15. There's also a video on our YouTube page, which is under the Whimsical Workshop, showing you how to do these pillows. So you have that as another resource just to see how they get put together. They're really easy. They're kind of addicting like potato chips. You can't just make one. So next I want to show you our Northern Lights quilt. This quilt was done for a cruise that we taught with Stitch in Heaven a couple years ago. We now have the pattern as well. This is available as a digital download or as a regular pattern. And the fabrics in this are from the Victoria and Albert collection from Island Batiks. And it just is a very pretty intermediate level quilt, but it's a fun one to piece. If you have batik stash like I do, you can just jump right in and do that one. The next one share with you guys is bedtime stories. This one is using Who's Who from Wyndham Fabrics. I love the back fabric as well. It's the cutest little owls. This is a very nice, easy applique, fusible applique pattern. All our patterns come with full-size reverse templates and full-size placement drawings. So the placement drawing is the size of this quilt. You don't have to enlarge anything. You don't have to tape sheets together. You just, when you buy the pattern, it's ready to trace and ready to assemble. They go together very well with applique pressing sheets, which we also sell on our website. So there is our bedtime stories. Next up is our pencil box quilt. And this one is using Tonga batiks from Timeless Treasures. It is all pieced. I'm going to come in close so you can see the tips of those pencils. These guys are made using a 2 peaks in 1 ruler or a Tri-Rex ruler from 2 peaks in 1 is Creative Grids, Tri-Rex is Easy Quilting. It's one of my favorite rulers. You'll see I use this shape over and over and over in all our quilts. We do have the ruler and the pattern available. But this is a real fun one. You can do it in school fabrics for kids when they start school, or you can do it like I did as colored pencils. Well, I did them as colored body pencils, but you can also change all the tips so it becomes a box of colored pencils. It's just a nice fun quilt to do for arts. This one is our Rippling Waves quilt. And I don't know how many of you guys like curves and curve piecing. For years I was really nervous about doing curves. I could never get them to come out perfectly. And then I got a tip from Creative Grids about gluing my curves before I assemble them. And I use a glue stick and I glue each curve. And then when you go to sew them together, they come out perfect every time. You don't have to rip them out. I do have a video again on our YouTube channel, The Whimsical Workshop, that shows you how we do this trick. And I can't tell you how much I love doing curves now that they always come out and I don't have to sit there and pin them all. And it's a nice way. This quilt is a really nice quilt to use as a beginner to get into curves. It also has this other secondary block, which is using the Creative Grids Cat's Cradle ruler. The block is made with 3 triangles and a square, but when you use the ruler, you only have to cut rectangles and squares. You don't have to cut any triangles. And in the end, you come out with a perfect block each time. So between the Creative Grids ruler for the cat's cradle and the trick for doing curved piecing, this quilt goes together and very easily. And it's a nice size for a throw quilt. This is using tropical batiks from Michael Miller Fabrics. We design a lot of quilts for different fabric companies. On our website, we have over 400 patterns. Some are digital downloads, some are the full-size applique. So we have a variety of skill, different techniques, and different looks on our website. So make sure you check those out. This one is one of our favorites. This is our batik ribbon twist. This guy's been around for a while, but we just redid this using Sazerac from Banyan Batiks, and that's a shout out to Tiffany Hayes. This is her collection, and actually her husband quilted it for us, and I'm not sure if you can see the quilting on there if I get close enough or not, but he did a really great job. It's a very nice pattern to make out of any kind of style fabrics. This one's obviously out of darker batiks. But a few years ago, I taught this as a class to 30 Canadian women, and they didn't have kits, so everybody had to bring their own fabrics. I saw this one made up out of black and whites, out of Christmas, out of 30s fabrics, out of brights, and they all came out beautiful. So it's a very versatile pattern to use if you want to use your stash while you're sitting at home. So there's the Batik Ribbon Twist. This one is our confetti quilt. And this one has a fun story with it. Again, it's using the 2 peaks and 1 ruler that I love, but it's only using the 1/2 of the ruler. There's very basic applique on the edge. But a few years ago, Quilt magazine in Australia contacted us and asked if we would design a quilt for their magazine. And this is the quilt we came up with. It was down under for 6 months. And we got the quilt back, and then a year later we got an email from the magazine saying it was included in their 100 best competition. They were all being voted to be the 100 best quilts of Australia. And this was one of the 6 in the modern quilt category. We didn't win, but it was fun to be nominated. And so this is our confetti quilt. And then back here, we have our compass of color quilts. And again, using the 2 peaks and 1 ruler, and then half square triangles and quarter square triangles, it goes together very quickly. And it's a nice, fun quilt. They're huge blocks, so everything's big and chunky and easy to sew. So that's confetti. Let me show you a couple others we have. This past year, I got into doing English paper piecing, and we were just on a cruise, believe it or not, got off March 8th, and I taught Simon the Sea Turtle, and he's also a little pattern of ours. He comes with all the papers. But he's a nice, easy one to start if you've never done English paper piecing. To give you some instruction on that, paper piecers have great beginner instructions for all people who want to learn. But this is our Simon the Sea Turtle. Then we have one more here to show you. This one was designed by Matthew, and this one is called Art Deco. And this one is quite, you got that corner. This is sideways so you can see it, but it is quite stunning. It is all template pieced. I'll just drape it over here. And this is also using Tonga Batiks from Timeless Treasures. And it is just a really fun quilt if you're an intermediate quilter and you want to push the box a little bit. This would be a good one to try. Like I said, it's all templates. When you buy the pattern, the templates are the size you need. And then you can just sew these together, and then the templates for the other side are there as well. Anybody have any questions? No? Okay. Here's another one for you. This is our 1 fish, 2 fish. We hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, make sure to hit the like button below and subscribe to be notified every time we drop a new video. Happy creating!